Hello everybody and welcome back to a new Monstrous Additions. Today we've got the Fist of Hashut Chorf supplement mod faction. It's a really cool little mini mod faction, which again I love to say every single time we cover a mod like this could be a really nice mod for CA just to pay off the creator. Hey, maybe just pay him off and just implement it into base game material. There's many mods like this out there, which doesn't go too crazy outside the realms of reality when it comes to adding additions to factions. This is very much one of those mods, and it could be a glorious one to just kind of tip off the boys and whack it in. But I'm having a fever dream again, so let's get back on track. As ever, if you do enjoy the Monstrous Case, please do leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We are slowly encroaching on 1,000 subs, which will be very, very naughty. I do also have a Discord as well as many other things. So please, if you'd like to join Discord, I'm hoping to actually leave the Discord in the description today. I should probably do that on every other mod showcase, but you know, you live and you learn. And be sure to keep an eye out for some streams as well. I do also stream on the odd occasion, mostly Total War, but at the moment I'm kind of branching out onto a couple of more enjoyment games for myself, I guess. That makes sense. But Total War will always be near and dear and the main focus of this channel. So please check it out, check out the streams, check out the videos, check out the Discord, and I'll leave you lots. Just joking, no homo. Alright, bye! Enjoy the mod showcase. Okay, so here we go. We have got Gargath of Balur down here. I say down here, up here in the very northwest, right next to Nagarond. What I like to do with these showcases, as you would know if you've watched any of my other showcases, is show you where the legendary lore starts, potential unique buildings and where to recruit them from, as well as any unique faction mechanics. So, starting off, we'll actually start with the faction mechanics. It's a very normal Chaos Dwarf faction, which is quite cool. We're not going too far out of the realms of reality when it comes to the Chaos Dwarves. The lore behind this is Gargath has been sent by Gargath the Cruel to come over here to the northwestern parts of the world to basically kill the Dark Elves, because fuck the Dark Elves, and then take all their slaves. Or labourers, should we say. We're going to turn them into labourers. So Garth wants more labourers, and you've kind of been sent on that expedition to go see what you can find. So as we see here, very similar faction mechanic as to everything else. He's still got the convoys, the Tower of Zar, the Hellforge and stuff like that. Still got the animals and whatnot. Down here, though, we've got summon units. So as you can see here, he has much more varied labourers, slaves, whatever you want to call them. So we've got ogre labourers there, we've got some Skaven labourers, we've got some goblin labourers, we've got some dwarf labourers, orc labourers, and man labourers here. No dark elves because we are just here to kill them, and the high elves are too pompous to even bother with, so we won't worry about them. So how you get these is by fighting each faction. You will get a event at the end of a battle, very similar to basically deciding what you do with your captives. Sometimes you can eat them for experience, depending on for replenishment. Sorry, depending on the faction. You can sell them for money or whatever. It varies depending on obviously who you're playing. There will be a new a choice there, though, called Transport Captives, and the story behind that is basically you're sending some captives back to Gargath the Cruel to obviously resupply his labourers, slaves, while also keeping some for yourself. So, really nice. There is also a skill tree. I'll show you the skills in a minute. There's an option in a skill tree to unlock the Hobgoblin Pulp Throws as well, which is pretty nice. Having a look around the map, we are spotting in a pretty awful position, to be fair. Allies are few and far between. We've got orcs to the north of us who hate us. We've got dark elves to the east of us who hate us. We've got high elves, Alaphanar right here, which is quite scary, who hates us. We've got more dark elves. And we've also got a vampire coast faction. I'll be honest, straight off the get-go, this is probably going to be one of your only allies, but she also tends to allies with the Dark Elves as well, so I've got a feeling the more you just pound into the Dark Elves, the worse it could be for your relationships. If you're not here for allies, then obviously don't worry about it, kill them as well, but Also, out of all allies, you're going to get fucking Slistra, or whatever her name is, Diaphin. Oh, gosh, she's so annoying. So I can understand if you choose to kill her over any alliances. Looking at recruitment buildings, you do have a new landmark here, which is quite nice, called the Labourer Pens, which is a unique building, obviously for you. You get a little bit more capacity for a unit there, which we'll have a look at in a minute, as well as a recruitment for another unit, which we'll also have a look at in a second. In terms of other buildings, you can see down here, for the most part, everything stays the same, but in advanced military, you will see dotted around some new units. So you've got one there, you've got one over here. I believe it's not just them, I know it's not. There is another one somewhere. But general rule of thumb, most things stay the same. So we're not looking too spicy there, so that's fine. I thought there was a new Chaos Dwarf faction. Not faction, unit. What has happened though is most of the units do have some kind of like reskin. As you can see here, they've kind of got something over their heads, as do all of these boys as well. So we'll have a look at that when we jump in. But apart from that, I think that's pretty much all she wrote for Gargath about. It's like I say, a very nice steady campaign, as Chaos Dwarves basically not going too much out the realm of normality for them. What I like with these mod showcases, again, is to try and cover what CA could potentially do in the future. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out there. And again, this is another good mod where if you just... I stress myself out when I do mod showcases like this, because I can't help but think if CA just gave the mod creators a little bit of money or a little bit of something here and there, you could just import these mods. Like, it's not crazy. This mod literally is just a Chaos Dwarf, new Chaos Lord, some new units, and it spawns over in the northwestern part of the world. That's it. That sounds like a single Lord DLC to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, ugh. Anyway, going into the skill tree real quick. He does have a revised Winds of Magic here, a revised magic in terms of Hashut. So his spells are very similar to the skill tree of Hashut, the magic tree of Hashut. However, they are slightly different, as you can see here. These are all Gargath's variations of them, so it is a little bit more unique than using the base version of Hashut magic. And down here is going to be your more generic upgrades to you and your army. So like here, for example, you've got Winds of Magic and cooldown for spells, which is quite nice. Perfect Vigor and Unbreakable, which is going to be really naughty, especially when you get on Hagdar there. We'll take a look at his unique mount as well, don't worry. Voice of Hashut, so buffing all those boys, quite a good Vigor loss reduction. Casualty replenishment rate as well is pretty naughty, as well as recruit rank. And then here's where you're going to be buffing your slaves. So you've got Forged in Shackles, giving you +6 armor piercing for labourers, +10 armor for labourers, and plus, +10 speed for armorers. For labourers. Gee, can I speak? Over here, again, buffing up those boys, we've got Immune Psychology for +4 ranked labourers, and then +7 ranked labourers, we have Revel in Fear, which basically means that every time an enemy unit is running or is wavering, they will get a buff to their charge bonus and melee attack and leadership, up to the respective numbers there you can see, which is pretty cool. So with that being said, let's jump into the unit showcase and the lore showcase and have a look at what this has to offer there. Let's jump over. Okay, so here we go, starting off with the Lord Showcase. You'll also be quite pleased to know that there is a couple of legendary heroes as well we'll have a look at. But starting off with our main boy, Gargath here, and his crazy dragon mount. This is a Magma dragon, by the way, so looking really naughty, and is a unit he can also recruit base in his skills. So in his army, which is pretty cool. So having a look here, we have a naughty boy who's a spellcaster. He causes terror, which isn't too bad. He's got burning skin because of the Magma dragon, so basically does damage as he's getting attacked, which is also really nice. And then also Contempt, so he doesn't care when the other people around him are dying. In terms of actual stats, he's got pretty good armor, good leadership. Again, with the skill, you can make it unbreakable. Speed 65, not too bad, but obviously he is on the back of this monstrosity here, so he's going to be a little bit faster anyway. In terms of melee attack, he's got magical attacks and flaming attacks, which is pretty cool. Melee defense is looking pretty high there. Weapon strength really high. Bonus for his infantry and armor piercing, so he's going to be a good all-rounder, as well as charge bonus there. He does have a whole array of different abilities, as well as obviously Eruption there, which is a vortex spell only because of his dragon here. So a really nice all-rounder, really cool looking mount. He looks absolutely glorious up here, and as does Hagdar, the magma dragon, looking absolutely beautiful there as well in all of its glory. Now, when it comes to the unique legendary heroes, you can actually recruit them by doing missions. I forgot to mention during the campaign showcase, but there will be 3 unique missions that will pop up, which will give you 3 unique legendary heroes for our boy over here. So let's have a look at these. So this one interests me the most, so we'll have a look at them. It also terrifies me the most because they look absolutely horrible. But here we've got Barukh the Crimson Claw, just kind of giving you a bit of a close-up here, looking absolutely menacing. Loving the kind of magma feel to this boy, looking absolutely glorious. So having a look at him, again, he is a legendary hero. He has armor piercing melee, anti-infantry, which is really nice as well as the Doom Claw. So what's this? Once his arms were shattered beyond use in a brutal forged accident. Oh god. The Demon Smith bound jagged steel claws in their place. Now Barukh tears through flesh and iron alike, a living testament to pain made into a weapon. So that's a really cool thing. So yeah, he's literally got like Wolverine claws there because of a, well, by all accounts, a workplace accident. Armor's not looking too bad there at 55, leadership 77, so good. Speed 70, so really fast. Is he faster than him on the mount? He is. He's faster than that, which is nice. Melee attack 52, weapon melee defense 42, weapon strength 480 with a bonus piece infantry and armor piercing, which is lovely jubbly, as well as a pretty hefty charge bonus there. Comes with different abilities, as well as a unique one there called Bloodforged. So he cannot move, but does 100 damage per second around him. So basically, by the sounds of it, he's just going to go wailing. He's not going to move, but he's going to go wailing and just do so much damage to the people around him, which is really nice. He does also count for a siege attacker, so lovely jubbly, as well as all of these different kind of buffs as well, like resistances and stuff like that. Savage Maul, more kills, gets up to a maximum intensity of 150, gets more speed and missile resistance. So that's really good. Needed for him as well, because obviously he's quite a big boy, so yeah, the missile resistance is going to come in nice. Now this boy, Chakra the Flayed Fang, I actually don't know what on earth he is on the back. I want to say a hobgoblin, but he looks horrifying. Look at his characters on there. He's of course on the back of a squig, and he also has an axe in his head. So unless he's like on fancy dress and I don't know, this boy looks crazy. So again, having a look here, so he's a Vanguard. He can do Vanguard deployments, so quite nice to be able to get in and into the gritty madness straight off the get-go, or even maybe a sneaky boy around the back. He's a duelist, so really good at taking down. Let's just move him, because every time I try and look at the stats, I'm clicking him back. He's a duelist every time he gets into a battle with another hero or lord. He should be able to do quite good damage against them. And he's also a Squig Rider. Chakra's bond, I like these little lore tidbits with these, actually, it's quite cool. Chakra's bond with his squig was forged in cruelty. What, it says question mark there, but I'm guessing it's not meant to be a question mark. Once a beast meant to devour him, now broken by pain and fear into his twisted steed. Together they charge as a frenzy of teeth and madness, a nightmare doer that even greenskins dread. So looking pretty naughty there. Armor's not too bad, 55, leadership 59, so quite low actually leadership. Speed 82, so the fastest thing we've seen so far. Melee tech 44, not too bad, but it does have poison attacks. Melee defense 45. Weapon strength 370 with armor piercing, as well as 40 charge bonus. Not too bad. It does have devastating flanker and stuff like that, so yeah, he could really be good at kind of coming up from behind people, as well as having causes fear. And he's also a siege attacker, so not too bad. And then more generic generic Chaos Dwarf here. We've got Balur, or the Gilded Flame. So he's armoured, contempt, and he's got a golden mask. So when Balur's flesh was seared by Sorceress's fire, the Chaos Dwarves forged a mask from a fragment of bound Kadai Fireborn. That's pretty cool. The mask fused to his ruined face, cursing him with both its burning fury and its unholy strength. So holy shit, that's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. Armour absolutely out the wazoo there, 120 armour, so he's going to be pretty stronky. 66 leadership, not too bad. Again, he's a Chaos Dwarf, so he's got that content, so at least it's not going to be affected as badly when his armour gets slapped. 32 speed, which is probably going to be pretty much standard for Chaos Dwarves here. Melee attack 36, but does have magical attacks as well. He does have this, so we're not really too bothered about melee attack as a lone attribute. Charge bonus 16, so please for the love of God do not get him charging into anything. Flame attacks 15, but he does have fire as well. Range 155, so pretty good range. So 15 volleys, 155 range, and each volley will do 118 armor piercing damage as well, so that is really nice. With that being said, all the generic Chaos Dwarf units have also been kind of reskinned, but only for Gargath's army. So if we look here, these are just Chaos Dwarfs, and if you look at the helmets, they've all kind of got these like cool crowns on. That is basically the overall gist. So they've all kind of been reskinned, but they all do very similar things. So they've got like these like shrine crowns on, looking really nice. So I was just kind of giving you a quick little overglance here. The more generic units still included, but they have been slightly redone with some better crowns like this lot, for example. So all around, not looking too bad. And the colour scheme is nighttime, unfortunately. But the colour scheme, as you can see here, with the moonlight shining down, is a pretty nice, like bronzy, dark black, like kind of like magma colour, I guess. Like if you was to take those colours and import it onto your units, like they look fucking beautiful, I'll be honest. So yeah, a nice colour scheme for the Chaos Dwarfs here, not too bad. Look at that. They look beautiful. Really, that colour scheme is actually really nice, I like that. So, let's head over here and have a look at the Slaberers. I was almost going to say slaves, but we'll say labourers. We'll just quickly cover the two base variants we already had. They are facing the wrong way, that's really upsetting. There we go. So, of course, we've got the Goblin Labourers, which are doing the exact same thing as what the other Labourers are. They are very much a reskin of what was already in. So I don't think too much has changed in terms of abilities and stuff like that, and stats and stuff. The armour's still absolutely abysmal. Meat shield expendable, the whole shebang, and they're not going to be here for long with 32 leaderships. But yeah, they've all got fancy little crowns on now, bless them. They're looking pretty nice. A nice little reskin for there. Again, hold on, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to have to cut this out. I'm sorry. I'm going to sneeze. No, my nose is blue balling me. For God's sake. Here we've got the Orc Labourers again, filling a very similar role to their normal Orc Labourers counterparts, but do have that kind of reskin with the cool looking crowns on top. So looking pretty nice. And the orangey tunics, look at that, lovely. Anyway, looking at the more new Labourers, this mod does include. We've got the Man Labourers, which obviously just reskinned Flagellants, but look at this boy here. Wait, look at that boy there with the little horns and stuff coming out. That is glorious. That's so cool. So these boys have Frenzy, which is quite nice. They're expendable, Meat Shield, and Labourers as well. Defeated soldiers, wandering travellers, and the homeless alike were all condemned to serve as Labourers. So we've just found every Tom, Dick, and Harry and thrown them into a group. So not too bad. Looking at the stats again, armor's pretty low, leadership's pretty low, speed's alright. For Flagellants. Melee attack 29, good melee attack but low melee defense. So they've got a bit of a glass cannon, but the tier 2, they're not, you know what I mean, like they're only going to be blocking for your main Chaos Dwarf line. Weapon strength and charge bonus as well, not looking too bad. Here we've got some pummelers, again with some pretty cool helmets on. Look at these boys. I love it. It barely fits his head, which is hilarious. So, having a look at the stats for these boys. So, they again are expendable, even though they are ogres. Expendable, a little bit more leadership because they're ogres. They probably don't care about being very naked and very exposed. They do have meat shield and labourers. Again, they are just kind of taken from anywhere and condemned to work for me. It says poor leadership. The leadership's actually not too bad. Speed 54, so pretty fast boys. Melee attack 37, melee defense 35, weapon strength 93 with a bonus V/slash and armor piercing, and then charge bonus 31. So this is probably going to be one of your more better labourer units. However, again, when it comes to if you choose these boys over some of your more elite Chaos Dwarf infantry or even gunners, then I know which one I would like to pick. Moving along down the line, we've got the old grumblers here. I don't think they would ever agree to this or ever, you know what I mean, death is probably better here. But maybe. Maybe. The pickaxe is not the mightiest dwarven weapon, but it serves with relative success in melee. So, I just could never imagine, maybe through fear for the humans and maybe if they're fed enough for the ogres, Skaven again maybe through fear, but the dwarves are always funny to me because I just feel like they're too stubborn to ever, unless they're like bound maybe. I don't think they can even fucking be bound. So this one is a funny one to me because I just don't ever see the dwarves ever serving, no matter what. I just feel like death is a better choice for a dwarf in their eyes. So these boys come with the good against gates trait, so obviously going to be able to bump in there. Do they all have Vanguard deployment? No, these do. These have Vanguard deployment as well, so I was looking at the skills down there, as well as different stuff like that. Can't escape me, so when they're about to break, I realised all the labourers have this ability as well, which is pretty cool. So when they're about to break, you can activate that, which gives them more leadership. Basically keeps them in the fight and does more damage. So it's quite funny that that happens. Oh my god, it happens just whenever. That's actually insane. That just happens every time they're about to waver or lower. Sorry, waver or lower, waver or run. That's great. Sorry, and that's for all labourers, by the way. Having a look back at the stats again, no armour, but they can be buffed with the skills of the Lord. 35 leadership, not too bad. They're a little bit better because obviously they are dwarves. Speed's pretty low, everything's pretty low, but armour piercing. But obviously having an attribute there to be able to take down the gates could be a nice early game play for you. As you take it, I mean, where are you getting draws from? Bloody the White Dwarf. His name escapes me. I don't know why his name escapes me. I know. Oh my god. The White Dwarfs anyway. Grombrindle, there we go. And the last one, we've got the boys who always like to turn their back to me and not actually look at me when I'm speaking to them. We have the Skaven labourers. They actually have pretty funky fur colours there. Look at this boy there. Look at this one. He's pretty cool. He's actually quite unique as well, to be fair. I'll take him home. Maybe not. So we've got basically just Skaven slaves, but the Skaven labourers. They are anti-large, which is nice, a nice variant there, being obviously a bit better to focus down larger units, expendable, meat shield, and of course labourers as well. Looking at the stats, absolutely abysmal. There's no point looking at the stats. The only good thing is they're fast. This is awful. And they have a bonus for these large as well, so the very worst case scenario, you can get them in against some large units and they'll do a little bit of damage, but these are abysmal units to look at. So with that being said, let's have a look at the last of the units this mod has to offer, as well as some unique and naughty boys as well. So let's have a look at them. Okay, just before we cover these two units here, I'm going to blue ball you a little bit because we actually have an army ability as well, which I forgot to mention. So the army ability is actually quite a unique one and could be pretty good for uses against units with artillery or just strong units, like maybe like the Queen Bess or something. So here we've got How Dare. I'm guessing you. It actually destroys ammunition and gets rid of their reload skill. So you plonk that on something, it affects one unit, greatly depletes ammunition, so it's going to just tear apart a unit's ammunition and then make it slower for 20 seconds for them to reload and shoot again. So if you're getting absolutely pumped, like maybe even like rattling guns or Jezzails or something like that, or anything with great ammunition, you start there thinking, fuck, I could really do without you having great ammunition. This is actually going to be a really cool army ability, and one which comes just base to this faction, and again would be quite nice if it was just added base game, but you know, beating a horse. Anyway, that was the army ability. The others are just your normal army abilities. You're the commander, and greater Gate of Hashut to summon the Khadai Destroyer there. So looking at your monstrous units, because unfortunately there isn't really much infantry choices here except from that, we'll get into that in a second. So I'm looking at your monstrous units. You've got the Magma Dragon, which is a retextured version of what a Gargath is on. So these are going to be your more heavy hitters, flying units as well, which is pretty cool. They are armor piercing melee, causes terror, burning skin as well, so going to be able to do dash out damage back when being attacked, which is pretty cool. And then flaming attacks as well. Armor 80, leadership 69, it's not too bad. Speed 65, melee attack 41, but they do come with magical attacks and flaming attacks, which is going to be pretty cool. Again, Celestro, Diaphin, or whatever her name is, pretty cool to have magic attacks against her and her banshees and stuff, because it's going to mean that you kind of get around her ethereal form. Melee defense 46, weapon strength 465, with a bonus for use infantry and armor piercing, which is lovely jubbly, and a charge bonus of 30. Nothing too great there, but not too bad all around. 360 missile block, because they are just hardened. They're just basically hardened skinned. Some pretty nice resistance there. 50% resistance to fire, 30 to missiles, causes terror, siege attacker, immune to psychology, all the good stuff, as well as again there burning body, or blazing body, sorry. So yeah, the more they are in battle in melee, their melee damage reflection goes up to 25%. Maximum, and then their physical resistance goes up to 10% maximum as well. So really cool there, again allowing them to dish out damage back to them when getting attacked. So really nice. And here we've got the Ironback Boar. Now this thing is looking absolutely beautiful, very much in theme with the Khadai Destroyer, obviously being more of a construct type unit, more so. Well, I mean, it's got a demon probably infused inside of it, but looking absolutely beautiful here. Excuse the shouting women to my right, they may sound Kislevites, but I promise you they're not. We'll get to them in a second. So here we've got the Ironback Boar. There it is, a colossal monster, bound, oh god, I can't do that again, let me just put him over there, bound with a fire demon, which yeah is exactly what I just said. Hellforged, very much like the Khadai Destroyer, causes terror and has flaming attacks. Looking at his stats, it's only a tier 3 monster, which is interesting, but sure. Armor 90, good armor there. I was just expected to be higher, that's all I was saying there. Armor 90, so good armor. Leadership 100, it ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Obviously it's a demon, so it will have that in demon instability, right? It melts away, it doesn't run, or maybe it does run. I can't remember the Khadai Destroyer, you know. I thought it like melted away because of the demon, but we'll get back to that. Speed 75, pretty good speed for a more of a construct unit. Melee attack 55 with magical and flames, pretty running theme here, magical and flames. Melee defense 47, weapon strength 420 with armor piercing, and charge bonus there at 55, so not too bad. It does have, oh there you go, demonic instability, yeah, I thought so. There you go. I'm used to a different kind of look. It kind of looks like that, but blue usually. But I think I'm thinking of something different. So yeah, when it gets low on leadership as well as health, it will just kind of, well, basically shatter away. It doesn't matter about health actually. Just leadership, when it goes absolutely into the gutter, it'll just unfortunately crumble. But it does cause terror. 15 missile resistance there. Bound fire demon. So cannot be rooted, but yeah, there you go. Takes damage when broken. Fire demons also have physical resistance, fire resistance, and fear and terror immunity. Pretty nice. Bound fire demons are also unbreakable while most of their hit points are remaining. So that is actually a pretty interesting point. If you can keep their hit points up and keep them fighting, then it means that it doesn't matter what kind of shit's happening around the map, as long as their hit points are up, they don't care about the leadership. So leadership is always nice, but yeah, as long as they are got a lot of the health remaining, they could stay and fight even longer than what this would normally allow it. So that's pretty cool. The Hellforged, So this unit can be restored in battle by the Demon Spirit Reforged ability. So again, you've actually got a hero choice there, which will allow you to keep them fighting. Burning Bright, Unbreakable, there you go. As long as their health is above 25%, they gain Unbreakable, which is, again, naughty. That is so naughty. Hellish Frenzy, so if their health points are above 50%, they get all those buffs there. And then the Blazing Body, very similar to the Magnum Dragon. So just an all-round fucking powerhouse, I'll be honest. I'm looking absolutely glorious. You've got to love the Chaos Dwarves ingenuity when it comes to like building construction and stuff like that. Looking absolutely beautiful. Now, a little bit of it, you need to squint. You need to close your eyes real close together and real squint, because what you may hear is the voices of Kislev warriors, but I assure you these are female Chaos Dwarves, okay? So really just switch your ears off, alright, and just listen to me. So here we've got the Harridans. Again, early development of the mod. Things could change, things could be changed around, things could, you know, implemented. You can even get an actual voice actor to come and just voice these boys. They may sound very masculine. Don't worry about it. So these are the Harridans Chaos Dwarf Warriors. So they are just female Chaos Dwarfs. But, I mean, they look really cool. Character model wise, they look, yeah, like Chaos Dwarfy. It's actually quite nice to see them, again, implemented into the game, because the Dwarves do a really good job at not including them. As do the Chaos Dwarves, unfortunately. Even if they are there with, like, agents and stuff like that, like the ancillaries, right? I know the Dwarves have a lot of female ancillaries and stuff like that. And so it's a bit of a shame that the female counterparts and male counterparts are not actually... female counterparts for both are not included. But yeah, this is a Regiment of Renowned. They do have 70 armour, 70 leadership, 28 speed because they're Chaos Dwarfs. Melee attack 30, melee defense 34, weapon strength 36, not too bad, with a bonus for infantry and armor piercing, so we're going to be able to hold the line quite nicely, as well as a bonus of charge with 18 there. Fire resistance plus 15%, they are contempt, it doesn't say it there, but they are contempt, so they're not going to care about all the slaves dying around them. They can hide in forests and also have a frenzy ability. So all around, not too bad, just excuse the masculine shouting, and we'll move on to the last unit. Now this unit is a Regiment of Renowned, however it's more of a campaign unique monster. You have to unlock it in a certain way. It's not like a normal Regiment of Renowned. It's just basically a powerhouse of a beast that they've made it so you can only have one. So look at this thing. Bear in mind there's an ogre on the back as well. Look at them boys up there. He's looking pretty naughty. Fucking this thing looks awful. And then here, look at him. Again, this boy looks absolutely insane. Look at it. What is that? What is that? Like a? I swear that looks like a gun or something coming out of his ass. Sorry. Sorry, getting sidetracked. It just looks like I should flap down and something comes fucking firing it. Anyway, so absolutely beautiful model here of the Kolossus. That's what he's called. He is bound with a fire demon, so he gets all the benefits as the fire demon would, as the Ironback boar does as well. He's Hellforged, so again a construct-y type. He can't run. He's only slow. Due to its enormous size and the fortress built on the back of it, so understandable. So it's very slow, and then it's the ultimate weapon there. 95 armor, absolutely insane. Health as well, 12,000 health, not too bad. Leadership 100, very similar to the other boys. He's not going to be able to break. Speed 38, melee attack 33 there, with magical attacks, which is looking pretty good. Melee defense is at 60, so pretty nice there. Obviously, being able to get in there and stick around. Weapon damage, weapon strength there, 450 with armor piercing, not too bad. Charge bonus. Don't charge him. He's not he's not going to be able to do all too much. Infernal Steam Vent, that's pretty cool. I'll look at that in a minute. I just kind of got sidetracked there. Ammunition 10, so he's only got 10 ammunition, but the range is 270, so he's going to be shooting across the map, which is glorious. And the missile strength there, 209, so he's going to be tearing things apart. armor piercing and monstrous impact, so anything he hits with his missiles will take them down on speed to make him 60% slower, which is actually insane. Having a look at his abilities here, he does have Cause Terror, Siege Attacker, Missile Resistance 25% there, obviously the Bound by Fire, which gives him all those kind of buffs, as well as some unique abilities here. So having a look at the Infernal Steam Vent, it's an explosion around him, which is pretty cool, and does burnt contact effect to anyone he hits. It basically allows him there a chance to escape melee. Not that he will struggle massively in melee, but he's definitely better as more of an artillery unit to begin with. And the Breath of Hashut there, which is all around pretty naughty. So there we go. I think that'll do it for this mod showcase. That is the Colossus and all the new units and kind of reskins and stuff like that this mod has to offer. A nice generalised mod, and definitely one to definitely check out, especially if you're in love with the Chaos Dwarves and not in love with the lack of content the Chaos Dwarves have gotten over the years since their release. Unfortunately, yeah, it seems to be a one and done with Chaos Dwarves. Maybe we'll see more Chaos Dwarves in the future, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So there we go. That is the Gargath or Baal mod supplement for the Chaos Dwarfs. If you did enjoy, please do leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a Discord as well. I forget to mention this every single time. I've got a Discord, so if you'd like to join the Discord, I'll actually try and remember to leave it in the description of this video. Please do come join me. But with that being said, much love, much respect. Check out the mod showcase in the link. Sorry, the mod link below in the description. And have a good rest of your day. Bye.